Good morning to everyone. ఇక్కడ థర్డ్ యూనిట్లో we have the long questions, whereas the first one is the structured methodology. What do you mean the structured methodology means? It is the started in the 1970s and it is used to or the structured methodology is used for documenting and analyzing and designing information system. They are using the structured methodology, and that means it process of developing something in a stepwise manner such that parts relate well to each other. What do you mean that step by step process will be done in the structured methodology? It defines the how the data flow will be performed on the step by step manner, and it follows the top down approach. Top down approach is nothing but the data flow will be started from top place and transferred to the next step of the downfalls. That's why it is called as in the top down approach. And the structured development method are process oriented and process modeling, and it performing the action manipulation and action storage and data distribution and flow through the systems forms the concepts. Whenever user to perform an action on a specific piece of data, it will be separate the programming procedure and must be written each time, and the procedures are nothing but the instructions and work only on the data transferred by the program, and which data is given by the user, it will be transferred to from one location to another location. And the main purpose of using the DFD stands data flow diagrams. The diagrams are used to designing the structure, and it will be defining the data flow of data from one location to another location. That's why the DFD diagrams are used, and it will be illustrate the logical view of the structure, and it does not view the physical view of the business process. It provides the data flow, and it will be transferring the process information requirements and information flow. Information is nothing but the data flow or data. It will be transferred from one location to another location in the DFD diagram. And the main information about the technical design, it is important for the user to logically view the data. The user is given the data to process the data to that particular action or particular function. At that time, the data will be transferred to from one location to another location with the help of the DFD diagram. Here we have the example of the library, whereas here it is explained by the example of data flow diagram of library information system. What do you mean that when we purchase or when we take a book on the library, at that time it follows or it will be accepting the data from the user based on the student request. When the student give the request to the librarian, he verifies that the student database, whereas he is the authorized student or not, and he is the reputation, he is the particular group of that particular student or not. He is authorized, he is a correct student. After verification done, it will be goes to start the processing, whereas the request processing, what do you mean that he give the request to take a book from the library, and that time the library database will be verified. What do you mean that the book is in the library or not, and the it is checked by the library database, and when the process is completed, he issued the book to that particular student. That is the process of the student library, and student take the book from the library. That is done in the DFD diagram. That is the it will be processed the library information system. It is processed by the library information system. That's why this is the example of the DFD. It is called as in the structured of their particular methodology. It follows the logical information. It transfers the information from one location to another location, and logically it will be matches. At that time only it will be processed the instruction, or it will be processed the action, otherwise not. That's why it is the structured methodology. And here also we have the another answer to this question, whereas the question number 12 means here we have the data dictionary. What do you mean that data dictionary have the information, and it will maintains the information about every data. Each and every data have its own meaning, have its own definition, that is stored in the data dictionary. That's why we are discussing about the data dictionary. It is a file, basically a file that maintains the information about every data element and data grouping available within the system. The data will be available in the system. That's why in addition to this, the file also stores the information regarding the data flows and data stores. This information is used by the system developer, who can easily understand the different data elements defined in the file. It is the definitions are only understood by the system programmer. Those words definition only stored in the data dictionary, and enhance the communication between the user and the analyst. It will provide in the communication between the user and the analyst. Apart from this, it acts as a common database for programmers. It is acts as a common database for programmers. The components of data dictionaries are the data element, data structures, data flow, and data stores. So what do you mean the data element is nothing but the smallest unit is called the data element. It cannot be decomposed. What do you mean the decomposed? It does not dividing into several parts. Does not divide. ఇది డివైడ్ చేయకుండా ఉండే వర్డ్నే మనం ఏమంటాం, డేటా ఎలిమెంట్ అంటాము. డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్, ఇట్ ఈస్ set of data elements which are treated as a unit. Which is considered as a unit, those are all are the, whereas the data element, those are all are called the data structures. Data flow and data stores. What do you mean that? Data flow represent the data structures and motion, and data stores represent the data structures at rest. What do you mean that? When it will be taking a storing of the data, at that time it is called the data stores. ఎక్కడైతే డేటాను స్టోర్ చేస్తామో, డేటాబేస్లో ఎలా అయితే ఉంటుందో దాన్నే డేటా స్టోర్స్ అంటాం. డేటా ఫ్లో ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద స్ట్రక్చర్స్లో మూవ్ అయ్యేదాన్ని డేటా ఫ్లో అంటాము. డేటా ఫ్లో పర్ఫార్మ్డ్ ద డేటా. దిస్ ద ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద డేటా డిక్షనరీ. ఇట్ ఈస్ ద కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద structure, design, structured methodology. And another question is, we have the, what are the tools of a structured analysis? The tools are used in the to structured analysis. That is the modeling tools enables a system analyst to present graphic or pictorial representation of a system. When we want to give the representation as pictorial, nothing but the images, that is nothing but the tools are used. At that time they are using the different types of tools. These are the various modeling tools that are used for analyzing a data. The tools are used for analyzing the data, whereas the data flow diagrams, nothing but the DFD. System flow charts, nothing but the flow chart. and connectivity diagrams. Those are all are the connectivity diagrams. It will providing the connectivity between the number of diagrams and grid charts. Grid charts are the different types of charts, and decision tables and object oriented analysis. These are all are the tools they are used for to analyzing the structured analysis, to analysis the structured documentation. This is the important question in the structured analysis.